Hello guys, welcome and welcome again to my channel. As you can see, this is my father. My father has been bedridden for almost 9 years now. He is absolutely blind and crippled, if I can say. So guys, this is a period I was home. I rushed home because mama was very sick and I had to go home. We took mama to hospital and she took days being treated, and papa was only behind with the workmen, that's the house girl and the caregiver at the same time. So it's dinner and my dad loves plantain and tea. Something I've learned with my parents is that they lie us in the same level. When mama wants plantain, dad will also tell you, today make plantain for me. He doesn't eat much, as you can see. It's just a little pieces in the bowl, and I'm trying to direct his hand to pick a piece and sip a cup of tea. Dad does not love ugali. Well, my people, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kenya, and this is my locality. This is where I was born. This is my father. He is 101 years, and we thank God for the grace and mercy He has given him. So today, it pleased me to feed him. I was so cautious around him, wanting to know if he would eat well, but I've noticed that Dad does not eat much of late. You need to remind him to pick another round, to sip another round of tea. He takes very little. So you see, I'm guiding him because he is blind. He doesn't know that the table is just in front of him. So you have to guide his hands. Pick a piece of banana or plantain. Then you will sip his tea. But if you're not careful, it would fall back and wash him hot. So you have to direct his hands and make sure he's comfortable, and where he's placing the cup is the right place. So this is my dad. I come again to tell you that he is 101 years. Dad is blind and crippled. He sleeps 365 days a year. He doesn't go outside unless he's put on a wheelchair to be taken out to bask in the sun. But apparently, Dad remained in that position and his legs have remained akimbo because he cannot stretch them straight. So in this process, you can see that he's eating. I'm trying to comfort him with stories. He's asking me about my other siblings. He's asking me about mama. You see where he's putting his cup of tea? We are always careful when he's taking tea because he served hot tea, so he has to be directed where to place it. He has a table ahead of him, in front of him, and that is my dad's bed. That's where he is confined. So by the end of this feeding and talking to him, convincing him to finish his food, he will now have to switch from the chair to the bed. But guys, by the end of it all, you'll see that my father is really struggling. He can no longer move his body freely. He's not active. You need really to assist him to get back to the bed. So yeah, this is what God had planned for him, and I keep directing him when he's eating. Sorry. Somebody has to be there now. He has finished eating. He has not even finished his plantain. There are little two pieces in the bowl, and I have to wash his hands and make sure the water has been dripped off. Then sorry guys, I just used my dress because I could not just hang him on and go look for a towel for his hands. So I just used my dress to wipe his hands, make sure they are dry before he finished his tea, and now get back to bed. He can't sit for long because he's very weak. So we are used to feeding him. Immediately he tells you, I'm touching his stomach because dad's stomach depreciated many years down the line. You may think he doesn't have the stomach, but the stomach is almost touching the backbone from behind. So he eats very little. I had to get to his toilet, pick some tissue paper so that he may wipe his nose. Actually, he doesn't have any running nose, but it is his habit. So since the handkerchief is on the bed, I had to pull a piece of toilet paper to give him so that he wipes whatever he likes wiping. So I had to clear the table. Some drops of food had fallen, and I'm waiting for him to clear his cup of tea. Now, he is weak, he cannot sit upright. I touched his head. I told him, Dad, you have to get another shave. Your beards are all over. Your head is white. So we need to look for a barber to come and shave him. Normally we have a nearby neighbor who knows how to shave. So we have the machines in the home. What he comes, he only plugs it on power, then he shaves his head and his beards. So he's just cleaning his face, wiping with the clean toilet paper right from his toilet. The door behind my back is his toilet and his washroom. But unfortunately, Dad does not use that toilet because he's unable to move his body. So under this bed you see here, there's a gallon we put just in case he would love to pee. Somebody would come in and assist him and give him the gallon to pee in so that we empty it in the toilet and flush it. Sometimes you find the beddings are all wet, the blanket is wet. So what we do, we change his beddings every day. We wash even the blanket after every 2 days, because if we don't do it, then it means he will have to get the skin sores, the wounds around his body. We thank God he's been down for almost 10 years, but he doesn't have skin sores because the hygiene is highly kept for this room. Now he is through. I don't think if he'll finish this cup of tea. Just watch, guys, don't tire. Because as a child, you need to be patient. He has loss in memory. And the goodness of him, he doesn't suffer that acute dementia whereby a parent disturbs you with he bombards you with a lot of questions. Dad is calm, he's polite, he awaits until you ask him something, then he will answer you back. So I squatted down, and sometimes when you are around your parent, you feel that nature has not favored him in the old age. It's a pity. Yeah, pity comes back into your heart because he cannot see us. He only recognizes us through our voices. But sometimes he gets confused. So this is Papa. And this is what we do while we are home with him and with Mom. I'm lucky, guys. I have both my parents alive. Dad is 101. Mom is 80 years. So we thank God. We really thank God. Yes, guys. This is the nature of us at home. Anybody who goes home does the same as I do. This week you may find it is Liz Wanda, another week you may find it Sarah, another month you may find it's David. We are many, guys, and we have a sister, maybe Monica, Joyce. We are all around him. So he's not finished his tea. He says he's okay and he's satisfied. He is full. Now it's time now I get to direct him to the bed. And guys, as you see, my dad cannot move alone. So he will sit on the bed, but he will not move to the farthest head side. You see, I'm lifting him. In the African tradition, we are told that a daughter should not touch her father. But now we don't have boys around. You see, I'm pulling dad because he's so heavy. He has very heavy bones. Just because he's an old man. You see, I'm pulling him, helping him to get to the farthest head side of the bed. Then I felt I was almost overwhelmed, so I had to put my knee on his bed, and now I'm trying to cover him so that he sleeps. That's the routine every day. He eats immediately, he goes to bed. So guys, don't worry. And if you hear any noise around, it may be the TV in the living room. Let copyright not wonder which volume is in the background. Please forgive me if there is any noise in the background. It's the TV in the living room. So Mama is watching, and from here I'm going to do the same to Mom. Mom has not had dinner. I have to go and sweet talk her, sit her down, comfort her, so that she may also eat the same plantain and tea before she takes her medication. So guys, keep watching, don't tire, because I love my parents.
This one for me, though.
So from here, I'll get to the sitting room and look after Mom too. Now after Dad go to sleep, so guys, I come back to the sitting room and try to feed my mother, make sure she's eating well to her taste to the fullest before she takes her medication, then retire to bed. It's cumbersome sometimes to have these old people around us, because in their mind they need attention, they need company, and they also need care. So as a daughter of the home, I had to make sure her tea resembles mine. She was complaining that there was too much tea leaves, but it was just mild tea leaves in her tea. And dinner today, she chose to have plantain and a cup of tea. This is due because she has a very low appetite, because the medication she's given from hospital are very strong, and so they need her to eat before she takes them. So guys, this is Mom at 80. She is 80 years old, and sometimes you feel bad to see your parent going down, getting weaker and weaker year by year. So that is me. It's me seated with her, and I'm trying to convince her to finish her food so that she doesn't leave it behind. So it's talking to her, giving her nice stories, trying to convince her to eat well and finish. I just remembered she had a bandage still on her hand where they had taken some blood samples and given her the IV injections. So I had to remove that because it was hours after she was discharged from hospital. So guys, I'm trying to help my mother recover very fast. And yes, this is life at home. Actually, we are 9 in number, so we take turns to go home and stay with our parents. We take a week, you take 2 weeks, then you come back. But this was an emergency because Mama was sick. She was very, very sick. And this was after she was discharged from hospital. So after her discharge, her appetite had broken down, and all she would ask for was plantain and tea. And this was around 9:30 p.m. at night, because when she came from hospital, she had to sleep a bit. She slept for around 2 hours before I woke her up. She's staring at the TV on the wall. It's mounted just behind my back.
Yeah.
So guys, this is Mama, and